my guiltiest pleasures on television today. Summer House, Season 9. Let's go. I am a card-carrying member of the Paige DeSorbo Hive. I am a huge fan of Ciara from Season 3 of Traitors. Lindsay and Carl are the most toxic couple of all time. I can't take my eyes off that train wreck. And now we got new girls in the house. We got all sorts of drama, and I cannot even fathom doing all of this at their age. I mean, I'm 40 years old now.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And I used to do the Jersey Shore. I used to do the Hamptons. It's some of the most fun I've ever had because you do it when you're like 25. The thought of doing this now at this age with wives and babies and pregnancies and exes and the hangovers and the cameras is, you could not pay me enough to get involved in any of this shit. And everybody in Summer House just keeps coming back for more. I don't know how much money they're making. I don't know how much fame they've got, but there is not enough in the world to subject me to that at the age of 40. All of these people have been doing this for so goddamn long, and they are still willing to just put it all out there and do it on camera. I mean, Lindsay and Carl are such an all-time bad, toxic couple. I almost, in the end, somehow are rooting for them. I mean, they absolutely should not be together, but they're so bad, it's right. I mean, the fact that Lindsay and Carl didn't end in a murder-suicide is one of the all-time great upsets. And I don't know by whose hand. It could have been Lindsay killing Carl. It could have been Carl killing Lindsay. That's a coin flip right there. And to just throw gasoline on a already raging dumpster fire, Lindsay comes back into the house for Season 9, pregnant by someone else.
I don't blame him for not saying hi to me at all. Like, I actually don't care.
After being engaged to Carl like 25 minutes ago. Now, that's a real life, very delicate, precarious situation to navigate. We were engaged. I called it off. The next guy you were with, like, bam, all of a sudden you're pregnant. That's already messy enough as it is. Imagine doing that on a reality TV show where you both willingly decide to live in a party house together. It is one of the most reckless decisions of all time. And I can't decide who's crazier. Lindsay, for being like several months pregnant and being like, let me subject myself to living in a shared house, in a party house with like 22-year-old girls and fighting exes and my crazy toxic ex. You're very pregnant. You're super uncomfortable. You are got morning sickness. You're constipated. Your feet are swollen. Everything sucks. And you're like, let me live in this shitty, crazy house with a bunch of drunk girls. Is it that? Or is it Carl, who's like, you know, my terrifying psychotic ex, she is now pregnant with someone else's baby. Let me go live in a house with her for the summer. Let me try to be a single man. I know he doesn't party anymore, but let me try to be a single man where, you know, theoretically he's going to bring girls home, maybe date somebody, sleep with them, fool around, flirt, go to the bars. Let me do all of that in front of my ex-fiance that I dumped, who's now pregnant.
I've made a huge mistake.
I mean, who's crazier? That is another coin flip. Like, I don't know. I don't know who's more insane for doing a summer share house at this age with those circumstances. Both of them are patently fucking insane. And somehow, they're the ones being more mature. You got Carl. He kind of botched the first introduction, but then he goes up to her afterwards, says, you know, congratulations, and have their super awkward conversation. They're both kind of pretending that we're both moving on and closing the door. Yeah, sure thing. I'm sure both of you have all the closure you need. Yeah, in your bra.
Yeah, in your bra.
And then you got Lindsay being like, thank you for cooking the steak. This is good. It's like, wait a second. Are you two growing and evolving? I mean, the whole thing is actually like, maybe it took 9 seasons and like 2 decades of doing this, but everybody's actually kind of giving some sound advice and sound, and giving like real mature conversations to each other. You got Kyle going to Wes being like, hey man, I think you need to apologize to Ciara. Is that growth, my friends? Ciara's she's got a legitimate beef on her hands because her and West had their thing. And then they seemingly, it was a mess. I think she had more feelings than she wanted to admit. It doesn't work out, fine, whatever. They have their moment. They have their closure. And then he goes on this press tour, multiple articles in the New York Times, multiple appearances, being like, yeah, I never really liked her and we weren't a good fit. That sucks. That doesn't feel good to hear. And it's not the type of girl that I would want to do it to, because Ciara is a bad bitch. And her coming in hot at that dinner table being like, your hair sucks, you suck, you're a fucking loser, and you're a little bitch. Woo, mama. West might have it worse than Carl. I would get out of that house so fucking fast. You cannot even begin to tell, like, living in a party house for the summer with your ex is just the worst move imaginable as a man. Again, I don't know what these checks look like. I don't know how much you can get off this fame, but not enough money in the world to have a woman scorned, sleeping, one door down while you're trying to hook up and she's the hottest girl in the world. Like, good luck with that one, West. You are fucked, bro. But the funny thing is, if West was just to legitimately apologize and just be like, I fucked up, my bad, I think Ciara would melt in a heartbeat. I think she would be a puddle in the palm of his hands once again, because they both still have feelings for each other. I'm not saying it's going to work out, because nothing works out on reality TV, because it's all a fucking train wreck. But as much as she's trying to be like a tough guy and be like, fuck you, you're an asshole, which I do believe she believes, I think all it would take was a legitimate apology and a little bit of finessing, and she'll be crawling right back into his bed. I mean, she even admitted, like, right away that her toxic trait was like, despite you doing all that and me yelling at you, like, let's make out right now. It's like day one. You got a long summer to go. Put it in the books, take it to the bank, bet the rent that those two are not done. There is still something there. And all of these couples pale in comparison to the newest couple on the block. You got Kenny and the new chick, Lexi. This new girl, Lexi, party girl, coming in hot. I think she's like 17 years old. She looks like a literal child. And Kenny is ready to drop to one knee, get out the ring, and propose in one of the all-time bad moves. Two cardinal rules, man. Number one, you don't catch feelings like the first weekend of the summer. You know you're going to be out there drinking and partying, and there's going to be other girls, and you're going to want to fuck, and what are you doing? This is like, again, your 50th year here. You know how this game works, and you're going to get wifed up in the first weekend, which just sets you up for a summer of fighting and failure and heartbreak, either her or you. It's just such a terrible idea.
You get one vagina for the rest of your life. Real smart, Frank. Way to work it through.
And number two, getting involved with someone else in the share house, just no go. No dice. I think it's kind of crazy in general to ever do those houses, guys and girls together, because if you're really going to be out there partying and fucking, the girls are not going to want strange girls coming in, and the guys are going to get jealous of other guys. It's just a total mess. I understand this is more for television than it is just a regular share house, but those two together, makes my skin crawl. Makes me just want to, and I get it. Kenny's beat cancer like 35 times, and he's ready to just live it up. She's super hot. He's like, whatever. They're in bed together. They're connecting and commiserating. He's got cancer. She's got this guy that she definitely used to hook up with who died. And then they bond over that. Next thing you know, schmoopy making out. That was fucking weird. And when he picks her up, it kind of looks like, I don't know, she's so tiny. It looks like his daughter. The whole thing weirds me out, man. And they're doing the DMs and the texting right away. I wish I had your number, and I miss your face. And she's FaceTiming in the car saying, come give me a big koala hug. And what a performance from Carl, Kyle, and Wes. Just the perfect reaction from the fellas being like, what the fuck is going on here? We're supposed to be wingmen. We're supposed to be boys. We're going to have a summer together. We got the drinks. We got the girls, the fame, the cameras. Let's go. And you're like, schmoopy, I'm in love with the first girl you see, who's this new chick who's come to the mix. Like, good luck with that one, you goddamn idiot. Just the perfect reaction when your boy is catching feelings. He's already saying he thinks he might love her. They've been knowing each other for 24 hours, and he's like, we're in a relationship, we're dating and getting married. And of course, a lot of the shit, I'm sure, is for the cameras, and this is all a lot of reality magic, and they're all just doing it for attention. But there's always some feelings behind that, and that is one of the all-time bad moves. And then there's Queen Paige DeSorbo, who I think could become the next president if she wanted to. She could become Oprah like tomorrow. That woman has a legion of girls who would do anything she says. She's got the 18 to like 34 demographic on lock. There are therapists who are crediting Paige DeSorbo, saying how many times there are women in sessions with her citing Paige as like an inspiration.
Should I apologize for being strong and independent?
Because she's just kind of a real chick. She's got her own career and her own thing, but she's not like a feminist who's annoying about it. She's not like a man hater. She's like, I'm, she's out here with the girls partying and chasing boys, and she has this boyfriend, and she wants to get married and have a family at some point, but it's not the right time, and she's got a lot going on in her life. It's like, fucking rock on, queen. She's doing it all the right way. And honestly, Paige DeSorbo could start a cult right now, and it would probably be like the most influential. She would be she would be the biggest cult leader of all time. All the women 18 to 34 would sign up, and probably a bunch of the dudes. Like, I'd be there. Paige tells me to drink the Kool-Aid, I'm doing it. You want to tell me to put on, Nikes and a jumpsuit and like wait for the comment and we're gonna kill ourselves? Let's go, Paige. So it's Summer House, man. It's a good one to watch with your girl, If you're like, it's a guilty pleasure for a lot of guys. You got to find a show. It's always good to have shows you can watch when you're living with someone or dating someone. It's like, we need to put on a show that we both can watch. And it's something that guys will be like, fuck that, I'm not watching a Bravo show. And then you're like, wait a minute, what did Wes say about Ciara? Did he really say that? I can't believe Lindsay's pregnant. And then all of a sudden it starts. I know, you're all out there. I'm just brave enough to say it. So Trainwreck is just incoming. Like, this, it's not even a train wreck. It's just this train has no tracks. Like, we know it's just gonna go boom, right over the cliff and just big fiery explosion. Except this time there's like a pregnant woman involved. But shout out to these, like 40-year-olds who are still down to do this. You are the bravest and stupidest people in the world. And my Lord, does that make for some entertaining guilty pleasure television.